Excerpts from a speech given by President Ronald Reagan in West Berlin. Our gathering today is being broadcast throughout Western Europe and North America. I understand that it is being seen and heard as well in the East. To those listening throughout Eastern Europe, I extend my warmest greetings and the goodwill of the American people. To those listening in East Berlin, a special word. Although I cannot be with you, I address my remarks to you just as surely as to those standing here before me. For I join you, as I join your fellow countrymen in the West, in this firm, this unalterable belief. Es gibt nur ein Berlin. There is only one Berlin. Behind me stands a wall that encircles the free sectors of this city, part of a vast system of barriers that divides the entire continent of Europe. Barriers which cut across Europe in a gash of barbed wire, concrete, dog runs, and guard towers. Further south, there may be no visible, no obvious wall, but there remains armed guards and checkpoints all the same. Such restriction on the right to travel, still an instrument to impose upon ordinary men and women the will of a totalitarian state. Yet it is here, in Berlin, where the wall emerges most clearly. Here, cutting across your city, where the news, photo, and television screens have imprinted this brutal division of a continent upon the minds of the world. Standing before the Brandenburg Gate, every man is a German, separated from his fellow men. Every man is a Berliner, forced to look upon a scar. In the Reichstag a few moments ago, I saw a display commemorating this 40th anniversary of the Marshall Plan. I was struck by the sign on a burnt-out, gutted structure that had been rebuilt. I understand that Berliners of my own generation can remember seeing signs like it that dotted throughout the western sectors of the city. The sign read simply, "The Marshall Plan is helping to strengthen the free world." A strong, free world in the West. The dream about real. The dream became real. Japan rose from ruin to become an economic giant. Italy, France, and Belgium, virtually every nation in Western Europe saw political and economic rebirth. The European community was founded. In West Germany and here in Berlin, they took place an economic miracle, the Wirtschaftswunder, understanding the importance of liberty, that just as truth can flourish only when the journalist is given freedom of speech, so prosperity can come about only when the farmer and the businessman enjoy economic freedom. The German leaders reduced tariffs, expanded free trade, and lowered taxes. From 1950 to 1960 alone, the standard of living in West Germany and Berlin doubled. After devastation from utter ruin, you Berliners have, in freedom, rebuilt a city that once again ranks as one of the greatest on earth. The Soviets may have had other plans, but my friends, there are few things the Soviets don't count on. Berlin Herz, Berliner Humor, Ja, und Berliner Schnauze. Berliner heart, Berliner humor, yes, and a Berliner Schnauzer. Khrushchev predicted, "We will bury you." But in the West today, we see a free world that has achieved a level of prosperity and well-being unprecedented in all human history. In the communist world, we see failure, technological backwardness, declining standards of health, even want for the most basic kind. Too little food. Even today, the Soviet Union still cannot feed itself. After these 4 decades, there stands before the entire world one great and inescapable conclusion. Freedom leads to prosperity. Freedom replaces the ancient hatreds among the nations of commodity and peace. Freedom is the victor. And now the Soviets themselves may, in a limited way, be coming to understand the importance of freedom. We hear much from Moscow about a new policy of reform and openness. Some political prisoners have been released. Certain foreign news broadcasts are no longer being jammed. Some economic enterprises have been permitted to operate with a greater degree from state control. Are these the beginnings of a profound change in the Soviet state? Or are they the token gestures intended to raise false hopes in the West, or to strengthen the Soviet system without changing it? We welcome change and openness, for we believe that freedom and security go together, that the advance of human liberty can only strengthen the cause of world peace. There is one sign the Soviets can make that would be unmistakable, that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and for Eastern Europe, if you seek liberation, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. In Europe, only one nation, and those in control refuse to join the community of freedom. The Soviet Union faces a choice. It must make fundamental changes, or it will become obsolete. Today thus represented a moment of hope. We in the West stand ready to cooperate with the East to promote true openness, to break down barriers that separate people, to create a safer, freer world. Cooperate. As I look out a moment ago from the Reichstag, the embodiment of German unity, I noticed words crudely spray-painted upon the wall, perhaps by a young Berliner. This wall will fall. Beliefs become reality. Yes, across Europe, this wall will fall, for it cannot withstand faith. It cannot withstand truth. The wall cannot withstand freedom. I have read and I have questioned since I have been here about the certain demonstrators against my coming, and I would like to say just one thing, and to those who demonstrate so, I wonder if they have ever asked themselves that if they should have the kind of government they apparently seek, no one would ever be able to do what they are doing again. Thank you, and God bless you all.